Well, holding the powerful accountable. It's one of our goals here at Channel 13. And this year, 13 Investigates exposed a number of issues across our valley.
13 Chief Investigator Darcy Spears shows you some of the most impactful investigations of 2019.
And sometimes, a major shakeup is sometimes what's needed to set things right.
The major shakeup our investigation set in motion ignited a sea of change at the Nevada SPCA, but it was a rough road to get there.
Animals are voiceless and helpless. They deserve better. Why would any community allow this to continue?
The questions and concerns came from former volunteers, employees, and 13 Investigates.
The last thing we want to do is in any way impact the mission to work with, rehabilitate, and save these dogs. But they're creating a situation that makes this place look really shady.
When a nonprofit asks the public for money, it comes with responsibility and accountability, and that's where things started to fall apart for the NSPCA. After we exposed animal welfare concerns at the shelter, we uncovered a money trail that appeared to be paved with secrets.
Where is the money?
Well, where does this money go? And nobody wants to talk about it.
There's a money trail that's missing.
We exposed how then NSPCA board president Kathy Jung was a convicted criminal, a past paved with felony theft charges over embezzlement from a prior employer, and a present that put her in charge of the shelter's money and millions of donation dollars from the public. Our stories led to 2 new board members who amassed a mountain of financial records showing massive misuse of money meant for animals, instead allegedly used for personal expenses by Jung. As a result, she and the rest of the board were out, and the Attorney General opened a still ongoing investigation into suspicious spending when the Humane Network was appointed as trustee.
So these kennels are small by today's standards and rundown and not very humane.
Things began to rapidly change for the better.
It's very sad, and one can only assume that the organization was overwhelmed and was taking in animals that were beyond their capacity for care.
The difference between what was and what is like night and day. On Black Friday, the shelter made history, adopting out more than 70 animals, including all of their dogs. Boxer and Happy are 2 of the 3 dogs currently available for adoption, and they're examples of the type of animal the shelter will be bringing in, easily adoptable dogs that will only be here for a short period of time.
With a new executive director,
so I have to thank you for the reason that I'm here today.
And an entirely new board, the shelter is finally on track to become the best it can be.
And when it comes to our kids, we want them to be the best they can be too. But our investigation of high school football fields in Las Vegas uncovered conditions that put student athletes at risk for serious injury. Since our first story aired, at least some of the fields are being replaced, and a Las Vegas champion is challenging the entire community to help keep our kids on solid ground.
My concussions had gone up 300%. I mean, I think we had like 15 concussions last fall.
Rancho High School assistant principal and athletic director Gabrielle Crawford closed the Rams football field at the beginning of the season. The artificial turf was originally installed in 2006.
The field has gotten so bad that when you look at it up close, it doesn't even really look like a field. It's more like a sea of black sand, all of these rubber fill pellets that you can pick up by the handful and barely see the blades of grass underneath.
A GMAX test, which measures impact on the surface, showed significant risk for serious injury. Her results prompted the district to test the other turf gridirons at Clark, Arborview, Indian Springs, and Valley High Schools. All were installed between 12 and 15 years ago, far beyond their 8-year expected lifespan. The district closed Clark and Valley immediately after testing. Crews recently began tearing up the turf at Clark in preparation for a new field next season.
Here you go. Let's go. Let's go.
We also uncovered another issue, routine maintenance, or the lack thereof.
No one knew how to take care of it. There was nothing in place how to take care of it.
The grass isn't greener or much safer on the natural fields.
Basically like playing on concrete.
Rich Morocco coaches the Liberty Patriots, a nationally ranked team with several players committed to Division I colleges.
You know, you worry that a kid like that steps in the hole the wrong way, or, you know, tears an ACL, or, you know, breaks a leg. You know, that could be consequences that affect him and lose a scholarship.
As a result of our investigation, help was on the way.
And I saw Darcy's article, and it really put like a bee in my bonnet.
Jeopardy champion James Holzhauer and his wife Melissa donated $25,000 to Rancho, challenging others in the community to step up too and help make sure every kid is playing on solid ground.
You know, these are our kids that are suffering these horrible injuries, you know, potential brain damage from something that could be so easily prevented.
To see all of our coverage on the NSPCA, faulty fields, and much more, go to the 13 Investigates page at ktnv.com. And remember, we get many of our stories from your tips. If you've got one, email or message me on Facebook or Twitter. Have a wonderful new year and see you in 2020. Darcy Spears, 13 Investigates.